Welcome into I Said What I Said. I'm Brad Wakai. That's Tyson Gentri. Tyson, it is Masters Week, my brother. I know you were super excited about it.
Oh, I'm pumped, dude. Have you seen the groups for Thursday, Friday?
I haven't. I didn't dive into them yet. Are they juicy?
Dude, they stacked like everything, not everything, but from like group 12 onward, and there's some studs before that, but like they're letting a lot of the big dogs play with each other, especially like later in the day. It's going to be fun.
I like that because, Tyson, the reason I haven't seen it yet is because I've been diving in, trying to make us some little cash over here. So what we're going to do, folks, this is the first time that we've really done this. We said, hey, we talk about it when we do our recap, because we recap and break down what happened on all the majors. Why don't we start giving out picks beforehand? Because last year we were super hot. We hit Xander at the U.S. Open, and we hit Bryson so at the PGA. So it was like, or what was the other way around? PGA, and I'm even forgetting, Tyson.
We've
Xander's
done
PGA, Bryson was U.S. Open.
Let's see. And then we had
Scotty at the Masters.
And we had Scotty. We had Matt Fitzpatrick when he won. We had Scotty the first time. We had Rahm. We've done a few of these. We only record when Brad knows he has a winner, and so that's why I feel good.
So that's what we're going to try to do, folks. Again, we're going to dive into it. We got outrights. We got top 20s. We are not gambling professionals. What we're going to do, these are the plays that we're taking. Like we have these in our account. We are playing these, and this is how we're going to do it. So, again, we don't have the sizing. Again, golf betting is a little bit different than if you're betting football. Unit sizing, things like that. You don't put all one unit on the same thing. Kind of do it how you want to do it, but definitely size it down and keep that in mind. But we're just going to give out the picks. We're going to give out why we like them, and then you guys can size it how you want. We're not going to tell you how to live your life. Tyson, I normally do this every single year before I look into this. I'm going to run through this quick. This is the Masters Eliminator. This is from my boy Patrick McDonald at CBS Sports. He goes through it, and he just kind of gives you hey, here's what's been happening in the last decade at Augusta National. Here's who, based on these metrics, is actually going to win the tournament here. So I think this is interesting to keep in mind before we get into our betting stuff. Talk about the age. It's going to eliminate 8 guys. Mickelson being a notable one. If you're over the age of 46, you're probably not winning. Jack was the last person who did that at 46. Tiger was the most recent at 43 who did that in the last 10 years. So, Phil's a notable name. Freddie, VJ, Mike Weir, Bernard Longer, all those guys, and ZJ. He's a kind of a popular name. But that's like an easy one here, right? Not the first timers. So when we're not counting the amateurs, here's some notable names that are playing for the first time. Thomas Dietrich, Rasmus Højgaard, Aaron Rai, Taylor Pendrith, Mav McNeely is now like a top player in the world. Davis Thompson, Davis Riley, both been playing well. So those are some names to eliminate right now. You need to start playing better at Augusta National. 7 of the last 10 Masters champions have at least had one top 5 finish in their Masters career before donning the green jacket. So that eliminates Wyndham Clark, Austin Eckroat, Nick Dunlap, Steven Yeager, and Denny McCarthy. So that's interesting there. Wyndham Clark, former major winner. What have you done lately, as Patrick McDonald says? You got to have a top 15 finish on the PGA Tour or DP World Tour in a stroke play event during the calendar year leading up to the Masters. And for the live guys, that was also included here. So who's eliminated? Matt Fitzpatrick, Max Homa as a popular name, Cameron Smith, Sahith Theegala, and 2-time winner Bubba Watson are the notable names in this group of 8 that were eliminated. Major championship pedigree, you got to come in. 10 of the last 10 Masters winners have all had a top 15 finish in a major championship the year prior. So that's something to note. Who's eliminated in this group? It's a massive one, 23 people. I'm just going to name the notables. Daniel Berger, Brian Harmon, Akshay Bhatia, Keegan Bradley, Tom Hoge, Nikolai Højgaard, Dustin Johnson, Tom Kim, Brooks Koepka, Minwoo Lee, Joaquin Niemann, JT Poston, Jordan Spieth, Sepp Straka, and Nick Taylor are some of the ones that stick out in that one. Okay. Tyson, that's 65 players through this that have been eliminated, according to past trends of the last decade. The last 5 major winners or master winners were averaging at least plus 2.5 strokes gained per round in their victories. So who's not hitting that round right now? Or who's not hitting that number right now? Adam Scott, Patrick Reed, Victor Hovland, Xander Schauffele, Cameron Young are the notable names in this one. How about good putters, averaging at least plus 0.6 strokes gained off the tee? I'm sorry, not good putters. Good drivers of the golf ball. Who's eliminated here? Justin Thomas, Tyrrell Hatton, Billy Horschel, Justin Rose. Iron play. You gotta have some good irons here at Augusta National. The past 10 winners are averaging a minimum of plus 0.84 strokes gained per round. Who's eliminated? Corey Connors, Ludwig Ober, John Rahm, believe it or not, Tony Finau, Bryson DeChambeau, Sam Burns, Sungjae. Those are some heavy hitters going down there. So who are we left with, Tyson? 9 finalists in here. Scotty, Rory, Colin Morikawa, Hideki Matsuyama, Patrick Cantlay, Shane Lowry, Russell Henley, Bobby Mack, your boy, and Jason Day. Those are the 9 guys, according to past trends, who can win the Masters and who are going to win the 2025 Masters.
Dude, if Jason Day wins the Masters, I'll be so excited. I think that he should be able to wear whatever he wants at Augusta National for the rest of his life. Tell me how to dress. I'll just come out here and win this tournament. Yeah, I mean, that eliminated 2 of the 3 tickets that I have. But that's like the fun thing, about this tournament. And like, if you're listening to everything Brad just said and you're like, well, then why even play the tournament then? It's a pretty good predictor. Like, it just is. Those trends are trends for a reason.
And this is a super sticky golf course. So when you're like, oh, what does that mean? Course history, if you play it well, if you know it, you're going to do well at Augusta National. If you struggle here, if you haven't had a good time, if you're not familiar,
Bernard Langer was throwing
70
down until he was 58, 60 years old.
Exactly. So this is a super sticky golf course. That's why a lot of these trends keep popping up every single year. It's why I keep looking at something. And with that said, Tyson, of course, I think I'm smarter than this. I'm not going to have that. I got some other guys on here, but a lot of it's gambling picks. So without further ado, you guys, you know what time it is. It's time to make a little cashola.
It's money-making time.
Let's pull it up here. If you're watching on YouTube, these are our outrights. I have 5 standard ones. I have a little special on Bryson that I'll get into at the end here. Tyson has 3. Why don't you start with your first one, Tyson?
Yeah, do we want to give like a Scotty disclaimer?
Sure. Yeah. Why don't we talk about that? Why don't we have Scotty, Rory, or anything like that, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Oh, I don't have enough money to be playing Scotty Scheffler plus 400 at a golf tournament. Like that's my answer. I think if you just want to pick the guy that has the best chance to win, go for it. That's not necessarily – that'd be a much smarter way that I go about things. Rory is playing well enough, especially right now. I mean, if there's going to be one that he wins, like this will be the oh duh moment. But you and I we've made a pact, much like if you listen to our college basketball episode, Brad made a pact to never let Duke impact his emotions again in his life. We made a pact that we're not playing Rory at Augusta as an outright winner. Yeah, so that's why those 2 are not on there. But to start for me, I'm going with Colin Morikawa. This is something I can't believe you don't have. You mentioned the major history. Like, Colin has that. Colin has that at Augusta, all right? I mean, he was tied for 30 a year ago, top 10 2 years ago, top 5 3 years ago. We all know about the strokes gained with the irons and the second shots and all of this stuff. His short game has improved a ton. And if the putter gets hot, I think Colin Morikawa a 3rd major would be pretty funny in this era of golf where it feels like he just consistently gets forgotten. He hasn't won in a long time, so that's the nerves.
Yeah, it's like the win equity thing. Like, where are you at here with Colin Morikawa? Tyson, I should have said at the start, and this is one of the reasons why I am not on Colin, especially at that price. You're plus 1,800 there for him on DraftKings. What correlates to success? What do you need to be able to do here? And one of the most important things is driving distance. You got to be able to hit the golf ball. You got to be able to hit the golf ball far if you're going to have success at Augusta National. The accuracy doesn't necessarily matter. You just need to have distance. You need to get the ball out there. Strokes gained tee to green is the most important thing here. So that includes driving the golf ball well, having the greens regulation, hitting it close to the pin, and be able to make your putts. Because strokes gained putting isn't necessarily a big thing. It's 51st. It's according to Rick Gehman. 51st in the average on tour out of 52. So everybody talks about you got to be able to putt and all that thing, but everybody kind of has the same sort of struggles here because unless you are familiar with the golf course, that's why I think it's a pretty flat thing here. Strokes gained around the green, super important. Strokes gained off the tee, that's also important. And approach to the green, those are the areas. So you got to be able to hit the golf ball far. You got to be sharp and tee to green. So you got to be accurate with your irons, things like that. Strokes gained around the green. If you miss, get up and down. and then approaching the green. You got to be accurate, green and regulation, all that good stuff. So, Tyson, that is why I'm staying away from Colin. My first one here is Ludwig Gobert, plus 2,200 here on DraftKings. So I ran 2 models on Rick Rungood. And Ludwig, on the one that I really dove into, really pushed forward, is 5th in that one that I ran, Tyson. He's also was second last year, which is a great sign. And bent grass, is the best putting surface for him, the best grass. So I do think that that's a good advantage here. So Ludwig Gobert, can he win this time around? Is this a place tailor-made for him? I think so. I'm going to take a shot on it here at plus 2,200.
Yeah, that's pretty much the same reasoning. A couple years ago, like we'd always talked beforehand that like it just kind of felt like John Rahm was like designed to play this golf course, and he eventually was going to win one, and that's a little bit the way we've only seen it once with Ludwig, but it was a pretty electric debut, and you could worry about the things you need to worry about with him, but he's awesome. And we made the video where we both had him as the next first-time major winner, so let's just start the year hot.
Exactly. Come on. Let's go, Ludwig. My next one, Tyson, this is a guy we were right on a long time ago. I mean, people are like, I don't know if he's ever going to do it. He can't. And then he wins 2. And we're like, dude, like Xander's really good. He's probably going to win a major. Then he won 2, making us look like geniuses. Can he do it here? Could he come to 1 away from completing the career Grand Slam? I'm going to take a shot that he can. Now, he's had a rib injury. If he beats Rory to the punch, dude.
Yeah, if he gets there first.
That would be something else. But Tyson, he's got a rib injury. I'm not quite sure how he's going to recover from that, if he's going to be good, if he's going to be sharp. But I think that's why we're getting plus 2,200 here on MGM. Because if he's healthy, is he down? Is he third in the odds? Is he hovering around plus 1,000, plus 1,200? So if we're getting some extra juice on a guy who has performed exceptionally well here. This is past history. We know he likes to play at Augusta National. His first one, he was 50th. Then he went second, then 17th in the COVID Masters. Then he did third in 2021, missed the cut in 2022, but since that point, 10th and 8th last year. Tyson, I think Xander Schauffele is a real live look here if he's healthy, and we'll find out, but I'm willing to put my money on it that he's going to perform well.
I think that would be so awesome. Like that would, the guy with the gold medal is never going to win anything. I'm going with Joaquin Niemann here. This is like my favorite player. We don't get to see him a ton. I don't watch a ton of live golf. I love his game. Look, you mentioned he gets eliminated for some of the things in your rundown there, but has been top 25 both of his last 2 times out at the Masters. If Phil Mickelson is to be believed, he's the best player in the world right now. I think he can shape the ball really well, and I think he can get around this golf course. And I just think he's going to be the next live guy to break through in one of these things. As a first timer, it might not be here, but it's probably only ever going to be here. So I'm playing Joaquin Niemann until the wheels fall off.
So my next guy here, I guess the next 2, and I've kind of flipped the order if you're watching here. It's on YouTube. So Corey Connors plus 6,000. That's on FanDuel, and I found out Will Zalatoris plus 6,500 on DraftKings. The reason why is pretty simple for me, especially with Zalatoris. The guy's form here is absolutely incredible. He's had 3 starts. He was second in 2021, 6th in 2022, and then coming back from his back surgery that caused him to miss 2023. He went 9th last year. And he loves playing here. It's that high draw. The high little draw, can fade the ball. I mean, just looks absolutely perfect here for his game. The question's about putting, but it's not a big thing for all players. Like, you don't have to actually put the cover off the ball. So I think Will Zalatoris, especially at that number, is a great look here, Tyson. Also, in my model that I ran, he was 9th. 33rd. So I think where they picture him as, at least with these odds, would suggest there's some value on there. I know I looked at the wrong thing on here. So the model doesn't necessarily love him, but I think comparatively to the odds board, I think that there's some value on Zalatoris, especially because he's performed well in the past. Similar with Connors, this is another guy who's done well at Augusta National. It was a little bit longer ago, Tyson. I think everybody's like, oh, Corey Connors performs well. He was finished 38th last year, missed the cut the year before. But from 2020 to 2022, he was 10th, 8th, and 6th. So I think that's kind of what you're banking on as he regains his past form. The irons that you're looking at, that's what got him eliminated. Can he be an elite ball striker here at plus 6,000? I'm willing to take a sprinkle on that.
Yeah, I mean, Dude, if you hit the Willie Z at plus 6,500, I'm going to be upset with myself.
I was surprised it didn't have that on there. I'm not going to lie. Maybe so. The Colin thing, I know you were shocked about on my end.
Just not see like him making the last putt on Sunday is scary. That's also like everybody's all over Russell Henley, and like he looks ready to win a major to me. But I have a hard it's just hard to envision him making the putt on Sunday to win the Masters.
Yeah. And the last one here, Jason Day, plus 8,000. That's a little bit more of a longer shot. You know, we talked about the Eliminator, and he's in there. I'm trying to pull up his past form, or at least how he's performed here. And Tyson, you know, he's one of those guys that in the past he's played well. Second in the first time he's appeared here, then he withdrew in 2011, came back and finished third. Since then, it hasn't been so rosy. A T20, 28th, a 10th place finish, 22nd, 20th, 5th in 2019. Then he had 2 missed cuts in a row, wasn't able to play in 2022, and then he's been 39th and 30th. So I think you're hoping that Day can kind of turn back the clock a little bit here. But on the little bit of long shot at 80-1, I think it's worth the sprinkle.
Yeah, I've turned back the clock, and he's 37. It just feels like Jason Day's been playing for like a million years.
And my last one, so Bryson Special. You guys are like, what the hell is that? The Bryson Special. So I'm looking at
par
here
67, where you actually play the par 5s at 4 under for an entire week.
Right. That's when Tyson actually started hating Bryson DeChambeau. He tried saying, "No, I like him now." After he won the U.S. Open, I don't believe him for a second.
The par 67 year, I think he did rip up the par 5s. I think he was like 8 down on those, but he's been getting killed by him ever since. And now he's got the humble guy thing going, and we're all cheering for him. YouTube channel sick. But dude, that's gonna live with me forever.
Oh yeah, Tyson says like, "Oh, I turned the corner. I like him now," but he deep down he despises Bryson DeChambeau.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
But if you're wondering what this Bryson Special is, what do you mean plus 1,200? So I found this on DraftKings. This is the winner without market. So you can get Bryson without Rory, John Rahm, Colin Morikawa, Scotty Scheffler, and Ludwig. Basically the favorites to win this tournament at plus 1,200. So we could finish 6th. And you're still going to cash your ticket if he's behind those guys, or if one of those guys wins and he's second. I mean, I should say, and if all those guys are in front of him and he does finish 6th, and it's all 5 of those guys ahead of him, you're going to cash this ticket. If one of those guys is above him, maybe John Rahm wins and Bryson's in second, or Colin wins and Bryson's second, Scotty wins, Bryson's second, you cash your ticket. You're getting that at plus 1,200. That's crazy with those options. So give me the Bryson Special, baby, and let's see if he can turn back the clock here at the Augusta. All right, let's move over to the top 20. If you're wondering, like, what about matchups and things like that? Again, we're not like professional bettors here, guys. Like, we don't necessarily go bet every single week on golf. We don't have a ton of edges. We love diving into the major stuff.
I gotta work on Thursday. I'm not betting 2 balls at 7:35 in the morning. I'm not a psycho.
So you got Neiman again. You're double dipping, I see, Tyson. Why don't you talk us through that?
Well, first of all, it's because I don't like truly. Well, I knew you were going to come in with like 6 plays for winners, and I just couldn't get myself there. So I was like, I'm going to pick my favorite player in the field, and a guy I do believe that can win. But I think here at top 20, I think he's moved from this plus 105 number. He's probably down to like minus 125. Most of the places you're going to catch him, but I do think he finishes top 20. I think. He's so silky smooth that it's just you're going to look up and Joaquin Neiman's 18th.
That's an interesting play here. You know, Neiman's been so red hot and live, and it's like, do you trust that form to carry over? And this is a guy when he was on the tour, we're like, oh my god, he could potentially not just win one major, is he a multi-time winner?
Dude, he was supposed to be Xander and all these other guys. It was like, this guy is awesome.
So that's the question here: is can he do that when he jumps over? I think. It's a safe play, especially you get plus money on that. So I'm intrigued by that, Tyson. I'm going to take a little shot on Brooks.
Horse racing, dude. When he jumps over and he's got to face this level, this class.
You know, you got golf. The buyer score on them when he's coming in.
Somebody's got to fix golf.
I'm going to take a shot on Brooks Koepka plus 125. Again, I clearly flipped the 2 here, so Lowry should be up top, but whatever. It's just me being an idiot. I like Brooks. I'm going to root for him. I mean, if I can get a little cashola for him to be making a late run and make things interesting, why not? I'm taking a shot at him plus 125. He's performed well here in the past. So, yeah, I'm rooting for him anyway. I'm going to put a little scratch down.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with Victor. Like, change everything and win. That's fantastic. I don't think he's creative enough or good enough at the creative things right now, especially short game wise, to win the tournament. But I think he's got a pretty good chance of making the cut. And if he makes the cut, he's got a better chance than most guys in the field of getting hot. And that's what you need to backdoor top 20.
That's kind of how I'm at with Lowry plus 120 here, Tyson. He's been playing really good golf
right away.
And that's what I'm kind of banking on. Like, if he can go first round leader, and we don't have that here, that's going to be Tyson. I'll tell you about the end. It's going to be in our Discord, which will give you more details about. I think I'm going to throw a couple in to be leading after the first round. But Shane Lowry's someone I'm keeping an eye on for that. And I do think he can perform well here. And he's been playing really good golf lately. So at plus 120 for somebody that could be contending, I'm going to take a chance on that.
And this is where I have Will Zalatoris, because you mentioned all the things about the way he swings the club, ball flight, all that stuff, previous finishes here, and all of that. And I don't believe in him to win the golf tournament, but I think he's a contender for sure.
Patrick Cantlay, I mean, come on. When's this guy going to do it? Can he compete here? We'll see. This is a guy that is a really good golfer. Some people don't like him. Some people hate him. But the guy's game can play. It's just, is it going to show up at a major? To win, I'm not quite sure yet. You know what I mean? But top 20, especially in the back door when the money's on the line, come on, that's when he just thrives. So give me Cantlay at plus 125, the top 20.
You love the heel, dude. This WWE thing has gotten you. You're crazy. You got Brooks, Bryson, Patrick Reed, Patrick Cantlay. You love the heel. I'm going Minwoo Lee. Get hot, stay hot with my next two guys here. But like, he just gets the monkey off his back, gets the win. He's played well here in the past, but it's not been something where you're like, Minwoo Lee could win this golf tournament. And I don't expect that this time out either, but I do think Minwoo Lee is playing as good as just about anybody in the world, except for maybe my next guy.
So, yeah, Tyson mentioned Patrick Reed. I got him at plus 210. Again, all these odds are via FanDuel, except for the last one that I'll go into that I found on MGM. But Patrick Reed, this guy's a major winner. Tyson, he plays well here. He kind of jumps in to Augusta no matter what form he's playing, and he just performs well. So, guys won here in the past, kind of knows the greens, and let's go. Patrick Reed lives up to the hype. Captain America. I know you hate him. Come on, give me a Patty Reed run at this thing this weekend.
I mean, the video did come up on my nightly doom scroll of when him and Rory were going at it, and that's the most I've ever liked Patrick Reed, the most I ever will like. I'm going with Brad's favorite golfer in the world, Sepp Straka, here at plus 210. Dude, this dude's on fire. And he can play here and play well. And this is also just going to be so funny for you when Sepp Straka beats Bryson DeChambeau and he takes 6.
Oh my God, it's going to be hilarious. But at least I said that Sepp Straka was going to be one of the first-time major winners, one of the most likely guys. So if you're curious about that, what are we talking about? That's one of the past videos that we did. So go check that out. If you like golf, we dove into who could potentially be the next first-time winner. I'm going to wrap things up with Daniel Berger, 3-1 on MGM. Tyson, Daniel Berger is playing really good since coming back from his injury. He's also 12th in the model that I built out. I think that's huge value here.
No way,
I think he can play.
52nd.
No, I double checked for this time. I was like, I think he can play at Augusta. And if he makes the cut, I like that even more. I think that's kind of when you get nervous about with Berger. It's like, one bad day and we're kind of derailed. So I'm going to take a chance on 3-1, though. I do think he can have a good week. And I do like him based on the model that I put together.
That's it. That's like, there's going to be more guys that we think during the tournament. You can live bet stuff too. I mean, especially Sunday, like if you were able to and you see we got a pack leaderboard and Scotty's in there somewhere, 3 guys just double bogeyed, we get a little repeat of a year ago. He walks away, you win your money, but you got to get in our Discord for some of those. That's group name, as I said, what I said. Tons of different channels in there. We just finished up college basketball, but everything else is still rolling. NFL draft is on the way. Let us know who you think is going to win this weekend. Who's your favorite long shot? Throw in a 100-1, something like that. Let's get something huge home.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Hopefully a first-round leader. Those are always fun. Try to dive in a little bit more on that, Tyson. But stay subscribed so don't miss a single thing if you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening to podcast form, go ahead and you shouldn't be not subscribed to us on podcasts. You know what I mean? We got a ton of stuff coming out. We're not only just doing golf. So if you're only a golf guy, we got you covered for the majors. We'll have a reaction after everything occurs on Sunday. So we'll kind of be breaking down what happened, all that kind of gets you going. But yeah, we're going to try to do a little bit more on preview stuff when it comes to golf in the major season. But if you're a football fan, if you're a basketball fan, like Tyson said, we're done with college basketball, but we got the NBA playoffs coming up. So that's why you should stay connected to us. Stay subscribed. Smash that like button on the way out if you're watching on YouTube, 5 stars. If it's in podcast form, and share it with a friend, share it with somebody you don't know, share it with somebody you hate. It doesn't matter to us. We do appreciate all your guys' support. And we'll be back. I think there's a little bit of news in the NBA that we're trying to get a little bit more info on. So we'll probably do a little something on that later in the week. And until then, guys, enjoy the Masters. We'll talk to you guys when we're breaking it down. Peace.